Hello and welcome to another edition of Pay Dirt TV. I'm Dominic Piper. Today I'm joined by Western Areas Managing Director, Dan Locker. Dan, thanks for joining us.
Always a pleasure, Dom.
Dan, you've been in the news from the start of this week, taking a 19.9% chunk of Panoramic Resources and its Savannah nickel mine up in the Kimberley. Can you explain the rationale behind the deal?
Well, as you know, you've been following Western Areas for quite a while. We're a strong believer in the nickel sulfide market, and we believe that the future through the electric vehicle market in terms of batteries and nickel requirements has got a very, very strong future growth. We also are keen to have some input into copper and other maybe cobalt also, which is currently within the Savannah deposits. So when you look at our strategic rationale in terms of our own company, and then look at a 7 cents placement price, it's hard to pass. And what's better than West Australia? So it's pretty much for Western Areas shareholders a win-win.
Dan, Savannah's had a pretty checkered history in recent times, had a few problems in front of it. Do you see that as an opportunity or a challenge or both?
Well, look, there's always challenges in mining. We know that with our own operations. As you know, we've got 2 mines at Forrestania. Both are relatively deep. We're building a brand new mine at Cosmos or Decius. So we understand the business of mining at depth in hard rock. So whilst, we could look at causes of what happened at the Savannah project through the restart, etc., it's not really, no point really in dwelling on that. What we now have is, we have really first-class engineers and geologists on board at Western Areas. We now want to have a look and really help Panoramic to see what else can we do now to add value to reopening up that mine. What maybe should be looked at is a brand new capital project and then take it from there. So that's one thing. The second thing is obviously it's well known in the market that the ventilation rise was always, the issue. And we've had a good look at that technically, and we think it's fixable. So, look, from a point of view, it's not to restart today. This is a longer-term program. 110,000 tons of nickel in reserve, and copper and cobalt. So it's really a good strategic option for Western Areas to get involved.
It's a good option, as you say, for Western Areas and your shareholders. What about for the Panoramic shareholders? What can you bring to them that will improve their fortunes?
Well, I think it's the credibility of Western Areas as a miner and an explorer. So if I was a shareholder of Panoramic, I'd be going, where were we going before this deal? And now, yes, they're raising 90 million, which is a considerable amount of money in comparison with their own market cap. So if I was a shareholder, I'd be going, what's Western's going to bring? Credibility, mining skills, good technical capacity, and fundamentally, things should look better from a restart point of view, if that's where they focused, or if, as a cornerstone investor, which is what we are right now, I'd take it as being very positive for them.
And of course, it helps them tidy up the balance sheet as well. And
well, it's again, you don't like to look at other companies. I mean, we've all got our own problems to deal with, but having a debt with a bank is always not very good when you're restarting or ramping up a new project. We've been there with convertible bonds back in the day, and they're not cheap. High interest rates even in today's market, and you're beholden to them. So a clean start. Zeta being diluted down now to a more reasonable position, an independent chairman. So I think it's a good start.
Dan, what does this investment say about your confidence in the future of the nickel sector?
Well, Dom, as we said in the press release yesterday, part of the Western Areas sort of long-term strategy is to have more investment in the electric vehicle market supply chain. Look, everybody knows Western Areas as a nickel miner, and we've got a very strong track record of delivering projects and mining at low cost. So our view is that now, and it's even stronger whilst we're in this COVID-19 scenario world, this will eventually come to an end. And we need to set up new mines and new projects today for that future post the COVID-19. Now, what's come through, and you'll see now a lot of market snippets on this, is that people actually enjoy clean air around the cities. Now, things with EVs and with combustible engine sales, yes, they obviously have been down over this period, but the EV market not as much as what the combustible engines. Now, what has to come to play is that, and this is now currently being mooted by Tesla, is that the cost of a mum and dad EV vehicle, whether it be a hybrid or a full electric vehicle, has to be in comparison the same or cheaper than a combustible engine. So when that trigger happens, and I think it's not that far away in China, then we'll see, I think, a good upswing in demand. And look, it may not be next year, or if you believe, it's been pushed back 2 years, but 2 years in mining is not a long time period. So Jesus will be coming up into production, and all things being equal, the nickel price will be there to support the reopening of the Savannah operation. So longer term, we have a very strong view of the supply chain into electric vehicles.
Dan, how's the market reacted to this deal?
Well, surprisingly, it's actually really, really good. Obviously, when you do these deals and you have a board meeting to approve everything, you always have to contemplate the post-market reaction, and it's actually been very positive. So far, we've had pretty much every analyst that covers Western areas saying this is a good deal. Look, there are some other ins and outs, 7 cents versus previous bids for the company. So there is a little bit of muddy water there. But at the end of the day, all of the people left now, whether they be Panoramic shareholders, investors or future investors, I think that they realise this is a way forward for the company, and I'm very pleased with the responses so far.
Dan, thanks for joining us today. Good luck with both the Odysseus development and operations at Forrestania, and of course your new investment in Panoramic Resources. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.